Oh my God, look at the pears, guys. Probably not ready yet, need some time.
Little bitter.
A little bitter?
I like it. A lot of juice. I like it.
You like it?
I do. But it's not soft.
That is good though. But yeah, we have to give them a little more time. Then they'll be ready.
No. Can I throw this one behind myself?
Yeah. All right. I'm Conor Crickmore, and I moved from the city to the country to become a farmer and to explore that connection between my food and the natural world. I am passionate about growing. I not only grow for the community, but also for my family. When it's time for us to eat, I gather the ingredients from our family garden and around the farm. I then cook it at our barn. Follow along through that entire journey as I plant seeds in my garden and care for the plants as they grow. Come with me on the final harvest and through the preparation of the family meal. Learn to grow and cook with simple methods with the food you grew yourself. This is Seed to Plate at Neversink Farm. Each episode we follow one vegetable from seed to harvest to plate, and this time it is the humble radish. This spicy root vegetable is a staple in my garden, and I think it should be in yours as well. The radish is crisp and colorful and versatile in the kitchen. Join me as I seed, care for it, harvest, and finally cook these jewels of the garden. Along the way, I'm going to fish in the river with my son behind the farm. And afterwards, we're going to show you how to smoke some fish using very simple methods. When the radishes are ready to harvest, I'm going to gather the rest of the ingredients for a great meal. Then I'm going to cook down at the barn. Let's get to growing. Radishes are a great crop to grow. They grow very, very quickly. They can take as little as 4 weeks from the time you seed them until you're eating them. Because radish seeds are so big, it's kind of easy to space them yourself. We can thin them later, but there's not as much thinning involved. And because they germinate readily, it's not like you're going to get bad germination, so they're a lot easier to seed. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 rows of the French breakfast. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 rows of the cherry. Radishes come in so many colors, it was hard to choose. But the cherry and French breakfast represent to me the perfect spring radishes. After the radishes are covered, we're going to give it a good soaking. If you have a sprinkler, probably better than that, but it's going to take 2 days before you should start seeing something, as long as it's been warm. We're going to be able to start cooking with these soon, I hope. I'm going to let those seeds germinate while I get back to farming. So it's 3 weeks since we put the seeds in the ground for these radishes, and I probably waited a bit too long before thinning them out. And that's what you want to do. Anytime you're putting seeds by hand, you're probably, unless they're huge seeds, they're probably going to be a bit close. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is thin them out to about 1 to 3 inches apart. And of course, I'm looking to keep the best ones, but it's hard to know what's below the soil. we just built these raised beds. We already have worms in them, right? They'll just appear, right? There's worm eggs pretty much everywhere. And they'll just, once the conditions are right, they'll either come up through the ground or just hatch. And so it's going to be another week or 10 days until these are going to get harvested. They're going to be at the right size. But even these little baby ones, we don't have to put them to waste. We're going to head down to the barn and we're going to make something out of these. I'm going to need some onions, potatoes, and it's too early to harvest these from the garden. So I'm going to go grab some from the farm, from the inside of the protection of the polytunnels. Now that I got everything I need, I'm going to get them over to the barn, get everything washed and prepped. All right, so we just thinned out our radishes, and I'm going to use these small little radishes that usually would be discard, and I'm going to make a radish top soup. It's a French classic, and normally people throw away radish tops, but this makes a wonderful soup, and it's just radish tops, potatoes, some onion, some butter, cream, and a little chicken stock. I'm going to chop the potatoes and onions, and then I'm going to saute them in a skillet with some butter. And then I'm going to prepare the star of the dish, the tops of the radish. It is spring and there's still a slight chill in the air, and it's such a wonderful time to be working with radishes and the open fire. It warms me inside and out while I think about the season to come and all the vegetables I will be preparing here. I thinly sliced some baby radish for a bit of crunch and enhance that taste of spring. Potatoes and onions smell wonderful and are the perfect base for this soup. A little bit of chicken stock, simmer them, and the radish tops just get wilted. Then the whole thing gets blitzed. Add a little cream. And I have some fresh bread that I'm going to toast with olive oil for dipping. Get it in the bowl, add the radishes, and my bits of toast, and just a little bit of olive oil just to dress it. So we took what is normally, tossed radish tops, combined them with a few other things off the farm, and made a wonderful afternoon lunch, radish top soup. Oh, it's so good. Hey guys, you hungry? Turnips right down there and some kohlrabi. Don't forget about that. Hey Rib, you wanna go fishing, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing, weeding?
Yeah.
So, who's gonna hold the rod?
Me.
Yeah, you know how to use it?
Yes. Just pull it back.
Show me. Okay, here, I'm gonna pretend to be the fish so you know what you're doing, right? All right, I'm getting away. I'm getting away. Getting away. Oh, nice. Nice. Reel me in. Reel me in. Well, let's go down to the river. Let's see. I never really had the chance to fish with my dad, so I am thrilled that I'm able to share these kinds of experiences with my kids. These beautiful mountain trout streams are what first brought me to the Catskills.
Oh, that's where the grass is. No, Papa, that's where the fish are. See that hole under there? That's where there could be some fish. That's where that they go in there to.
That's where the fish are?
They like to hang there in the grass sometimes.
You see how it's floating on the water? And if a trout sees it, he's gonna jump up, get it. You see it's sinking a little bit, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna dry it off, okay? So you just dry it off, and then put it right back down over there. You want it a little farther, right? Right there.
Ooh.
Good job.
I think I did. I think I got hooked in the stream. Yes, we have one. We have a fish.
Smoking is a great way to cook / preserve fish. And it's really simple. You know, I'm gonna do it without a smokehouse. I'm gonna do it just with water and salt. And that's really all you need, you know, you don't have to make it fancy. So here we go. First I'm gonna gut them, then I'm going to brine them. I'm gonna make a little fire over on the barbecue and try to direct smoke away from the heat and smoke them for a few hours. Yeah, so once the fish are ready, it's just salt and water that I'm adding to brine the fish, which will flavor and protect the fish from drying out during the smoke. I'll leave them for an hour or two while I go and start the fire. Moving from the city to the mountains and getting back to the land was not just about good food and fresh air, but it was about being a part of the entire natural process of gathering food and the subsequent preparation. I want to share that connection between fishing, fire, smoke, and family meals with my kids. By sharing it with them, I find new joy in it by seeing it through their naive yet unfiltered imagination. I'm using wet wood, so I get more smoke than heat. because I just want to smoke the fish and not cook them. So I'm keeping the fish away from the heat, but still in the smoke. I'm going to leave them to smoke a while. We can go check on the radishes. Radishes are really easy to grow, but to get quality radishes, there are a few things to keep in mind, because it's all about the texture with the radish. And what they like is really even watering, because when it gets really dry for just even a few days, then you can get really pithy, unpleasant radishes. And if they get too much water, then they could split, and that's not good either. So you want to have really, really even watering. Another good tip is about when you harvest them. The reason they're easy is because they grow fast, they germinate quick, and that's why it's great for kids too, because they can put in a seed and then they can see the results really, really quickly. But you want to make sure you get that radish out at the right time, because the longer it's in the ground after it reaches maturity, the more problems, right? What can happen is it'll get hollow, and that's really not nice. So you want to be harvesting them at the right time, right? When they have the right size, they're full on the inside, there's no air gaps. Right? You follow that, you harvest them at the right time, keep the water even, have some fantastic radishes. We're gonna let those radishes get a bit bigger. In the meantime, I'm gonna get back to some farm work. Yeah, it's a few hours later. They're well smoked. I just gotta decide what to do with them now. So at the harvest stage of our journey from seed to plate, and for radishes, it's one of the shortest journeys. It's only been 4 weeks since we put this seed into the ground and germinated a couple days later. We thinned it out just a week ago, and now we're ready to harvest it. And we can't leave it in the ground too long because it could just get too big and pithy and split, and we don't want that. We want nice, small, sweet, delicious radishes to cook today with. And I plan on making a nice afternoon picnic with the family and making a couple of things. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to harvest these, and then afterwards I'm going to replant them immediately because it's so quick, and then we can maybe sneak some radishes into some dishes in the future later this season. The bed's clear of radishes, and just making sure there's no weeds, and we're just going to add a little bit of chicken pellets just to feed the soil and keep it fertile. So I'm going to use my piece of wood and make a few trenches and just repeat what we did and start our journey all over again. Since I put those seeds in the ground, I've been thinking about what I'm going to make for this. And it wasn't until today that I figured it out. And I'm going to make 2 salads that are portable and that we can bring and have a picnic with. The first is a radish salad with yogurt and dill, and that we're just going to bring down in a jar. And then I'm also going to make some flatbread on the grill, and then with a thickened yogurt, I'm going to use that as a spread, And then with the trout I smoke, I'm gonna spread that over the top with a bit of radishes and some chives and some more dill. It's going to be amazing. Let's head down to the barn and let's cook this up. All right, so the first dish I'm gonna make is cherry radish, sliced up, salad with yogurt, dill, and some lemon. What I'm going to make now is it's another yogurt and dill with radish. It's the same combination. One of the biggest differences is I'm going to be using some smoked trout, and I'm making some flatbread on the grill, and I'm making some really thick yogurt so I can spread it. And I'm just putting it in a sieve and letting it sit there for like a day, and then it becomes spreadable. It's going to be fantastic. I really want to make sure that I get all the bones out. I thinly slice the radishes. Chop a bit of garlic. That's going to go in the yogurt along with the dill. Roll out a little dough. I'm going to make some flatbread for all of these things to go on. Spread the yogurt mixture on. Add some fresh radish on top of the smoked trout. Little dill, chives. And the kids and Kate, they're gonna love it. Now that I got the dinner packed, I'm gonna gather the family and we're gonna head down to the river. Just a great place to spread out a blanket and have a great picnic. In just 4 short weeks, we went from seed to plate. And we were able to grow our own food and cook it. It's just a wonderful thing to be able to do. Cheers.
Songs just like prayer, like gospel hymns that you call in the air. Come down, sweet reverence, until my simple house unrain.
While we finish up our meal, why don't you head over to neversinkfarm.com for more information on growing your own vegetables.